I remember a time when I believed that hustle was the only way forward. Long nights, no sleep, and constant grinding. But eventually I realized I wasn't chasing success. I was escaping stillness. Hustle isn't the enemy. Misalignment is. When your effort is not connected to your essence, even success can feel empty. So the question isn't, am I working hard enough? The question is, am I working in the right direction? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Success Spectrum Podcast. I'm your host, Kadeem McLean. Listen, if you want to find out how to shift from hustle to conscious alignment, you're in the right spot. If you want to learn how to build a life and business that feels right and flows right, that's exactly what we're talking today, and how balance pulls you away from purpose, how alignment amplifies results, and how to tell when your ambition starts costing you your peace. Trust me, I've been there before, and I'm sharing some tidbits, let's say, that I've experienced along the way and I know others have experienced, such as my clients, and I'm sure you may have experienced yourself. So the first thing I really want to dive into today is the myth of this thing called hustle culture. And to start off, I want to say this: working hard is important, but it means nothing if you're working in the wrong direction. If you're not going towards the right things, if you're misaligned, you might be going, like I said, in the wrong direction. So all that hustle, all that effort, all that work you're putting in is really for naught. You're going the wrong way. Turn around. But you can only turn around once you sit still and you realize what's happening to see if you're aligned, right? So the first thing is society glorifies exhaustion as proof of worth. Exhaustion as proof of worth. If you're exhausted, if you're busy, if you don't have any time on your schedule, it's like, oh my gosh, you're so successful. You're doing so well. No, you're not doing so well. Sorry. That is not an indicator of if you are successful. That is not an indicator of if you are doing well. That is an indicator that you're busy and you're probably doing a lot of things that you don't need to be doing. If you listen to my last episode, I talked about signal versus noise. 80%, ideally, like that's the number we want to strive for, should be focused on signal. But we have it the wrong way right now. A lot of us, 80%, maybe 90% is going towards noise. And signal is the thing that we really need to take care of, the thing that will make us productive. And as a business owner, we need to focus on that 80% to figure out what those things are and to see if we're aligned and if our business is aligned with what we want to do and who we are, what we're aiming to accomplish. So it's great to have a busy schedule, sure, I guess, but I don't even like to say busy, to be honest, because if you're just busy, you're just doing busy work and not getting any progress. Trust me, again, I've been there. My schedule, sometimes people would look at it and say, what is going on here? Meanwhile, I thought it was being productive because I was doing something. I wasn't sitting still watching shows all day or watching movies or playing games all day. No, I wasn't doing that. So I thought I was being productive. But in reality, I was wasting effort. I was wasting time and I was sacrificing my peace, because all hustle teaches is effort. Hustle teaches effort, but alignment teaches effectiveness. So are you being effective in all that you're doing in this busy schedule that you have? Because again, if you're busy, we got a problem. If you're productive, great, amazing, I love it. However, if you are busy, let's find out what of those tasks we really need to be working on versus the ones that we need to get rid of. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in this episode. But the thing is, there is no way to outwork misdirection. If you are going in the wrong direction, putting in more time, more effort, more energy, is only going to drain you more in the wrong direction. You're not moving towards these goals you have, this lifestyle you want to achieve, these goals you have for your family or your finances. Your business is not going to grow. Your life is not going to get better. You're just going to be more drained, feel less at peace, maybe feel, again, that quote unquote imposter syndrome. I had an episode a while back about that and what that really is, but you're going to feel that imposter syndrome because you're misaligned with who you're supposed to be and who you're called to be. So again, I'm not trying to say don't forget about all the things you're doing and don't work hard. No, we need to work hard, but we also need to work smart. You've heard that old thing about work smart, don't work hard, and work hard, don't work smart, whatever. Do both, because if you're just working hard, again, you can work 10 hours, but you're going to be working in the wrong direction, and it's going to make you move backwards. It doesn't matter if you grind 10 hours, you will be working backwards because you're working on the wrong things. So again, we need to make sure we're aligned, working smart, meaning, are we working towards what we really want? That essence, as I talked about. Is it in alignment with who Kadeem is? Because if it's not, why would I waste my time, energy, and effort doing that thing? It's not going to help me. It's going to move me backwards and away from who I'm aiming to be and what I'm aiming to build. If it's in alignment with who I am and my values, then great. Because alignment means working with your values, not against your energy. If I'm just draining my energy all day, it's probably because I'm not working in my values. And if I'm not working in my values, again, chicken or egg situation, then of course my battery is going to continue to be drained because I'm not energized by working on this thing. There are going to be tasks and things that we've got to do that we may not like to do, of course. However, if we are aligned, we will be able to put in the effort and know that we're moving in the right direction. And that's what this is all about. So ask yourself, whatever task, whatever things you've got going on, with every single one of them, ask yourself, does this move me towards my vision or does this move me away from peace? The reason this is important is because if you keep moving away from your peace with the work you're doing and not realizing it, without taking a second to pause and really reflect and dissect what's happening, you're going to burn out. You are going to burn out. And there's studies that show that your productivity reduces up to 68% when you're burnt out. Clarity and rest, they're not luxuries. They are mandated. They're things that we need. They're leverage. When you rest and you get that clarity, you allow your nervous system to be calm and at peace. You allow your mind to be calm and at peace. And guess what? When your nervous system is calm, your mind is calm, that's where creativity and decision-making rise sharply, ridiculously, right? It increases. Your creativity goes to another level. Your decision-making goes to another level because you took that time to pause and to seek clarity and to get that rest. Another way to say this is hustle drains, especially when you're working on the wrong thing, but alignment replenishes. So if you're hustling, let's say, on the right thing because you're aligned, you're going to be good. That's the magic formula here. Yes, hustle, work hard, but work hard on the right things. Be aligned, because if you're not, you're just draining energy, wasting time, energy, and effort, and your wheels are going to continue spinning. And I know a lot of you are there. I've been there, and I might still be there in some places. I'd have to think about it, but your wheels are just turning, and it's like you're doing donuts in your car, thinking you're going somewhere when you're just spinning in circles. Get aligned. And once you're aligned, now we can work. Now we can hustle. Now we can make progress. As a subscriber to this podcast or a listener to this podcast, I want to give you $30. How am I going to do that? Enter Rakuten. Rakuten is a platform where you can find deals of the week. And on here, it doesn't matter if you're looking for clothes, doesn't matter if you're looking for electronics, services, food, you can get cash back. $30 cash back, rather 30%, 20%, 4%. You can get Dyson Yeti. I know a lot of us need to file our taxes. Those of us who are late, you can use Intuit TurboTax to file your taxes. Ancestry. There are deals upon deals on here. And here's how it's going to work. I refer you. You click the link in the description. You spend $30 on this platform. Guess what? We both get $30 back. Sounds like a win-win deal, doesn't it? Go ahead and click that link in the description and get yourself your $30. So some ways that we can identify if we are misaligned currently. If we're, again, constantly busy feeling like our wheels are turning, but the results don't reflect the effort that we've been putting in, yeah, you're probably misaligned. Take a second, take a pause, reflect. Take out a notebook, take out a Word pad or Word document, whatever works best for you to map it out and to diagnose this thing of what's happening. You're putting in X amount of hours. What I used to do at one point actually was, I felt like I wasn't being productive, so I took out a journal, an agenda rather, and I tracked every single day what I was doing at every moment, and I put basically the time slots in when I was doing it. Now, you may not need to get that detailed. Fine, do whatever works for you. But I was doing that, and I said, as I flipped through the months that I tracked it, I said, wait a second, I'm spending a lot of time doing this thing. Pay attention to my language here. I'm spending time doing this thing. That's a waste of time, but I'm investing my time doing these things, which is good. I can continue doing those, maybe double down on them and get rid of my expenditure over here, the spending time, right? Minimize the expenses by spending time and then increase my investments in the things that are actually bringing in return, bringing me the results that I'm looking for. Another way to know that you are misaligned is you dread what you once desired. It's no longer in alignment. You used to say you want to go on a big vacation to Maui or wherever. And now it's not something that you really care for too much. You dread having to do the work that's going to get you there. Your goals, your vision, your desire may have changed, and therefore you're now misaligned. So everything you've been doing in terms of driving Uber or Uber Eats or whatever the case might be, you started that to get the money, the funds to go on this trip, but you no longer desire it. You now dread having to do the work. You're misaligned. Or on the flip side, you are achieving a lot more, but you feel less fulfilled. That's probably because you no longer desire that thing or that success in that way, because we all define success differently. And if you're getting success doing the thing, but you're no longer feeling fulfilled, either you need to go to another level or you need to switch your path, let's say, because you're misaligned. You need to take a second and rest. Again, get that clarity. Do I still desire this thing the way I once did when I got started? Is this still what I should be going after? Do I care for this thing enough to continue to go after it? Once you realize you're misaligned, or you kind of go through those steps and see, okay, you know what, I am misaligned. What can I do to recalibrate myself? Here's a few things you can do. A morning check-in, right? So what feels forced versus what feels aligned? You look at your daily calendar, you look at your monthly, weekly calendar. Which of these tasks feel forced and which of these tasks feel aligned with who I want to be and the life I'm building, the business I'm building, the family I'm building, the people I want to help, whatever your why. That morning check-in can help you. You don't have to do it in the morning. You can do it the night before, whenever is best for you. But that is one thing that can definitely help. Another thing is audit your calendar. As I said, if it's not aligned with your purpose, delegate, delete, or delay. So there are things we need to delegate. There are things we need to completely delete because they're not aligned with what we're aiming to achieve, and it's not worth it to keep doing it. So there's no reason to delegate it, but just delete it from our calendars. And then there are things that we need to delay. Yes, it's something that you care about, but it's not immediate. It's not urgent. It's not something we need to do right now. We can delay it a month, 2 months, 3 months, however long down the line, because it's not something that's immediate or urgent that needs to be taken care of. So delegate, delete, and delay. And the last one for recalibrating your alignment is replace your hustle habits. You know, there's things that you regularly do that are really just hustle. You're just not wanting to be still. You want to feel like you're doing something productive, but it's just busy work. Stop doing it. And I'm speaking this way because, again, I had to tell myself this same exact thing. Stop doing the busy work. Swap intensity for intentionality. Swap intensity, how much effort, time, and energy I can put into this thing, how many hours I can stay up late doing this thing, for intentionality. Even if I spend 30 minutes, an hour doing this thing, it is going to get me so much further along versus spending 5 hours doing the wrong thing with intensity. Trade panic for planning. Again, that planning thing being, allow yourself to be calm, right? Relax, get that rest to then get that clarity. Because clarity doesn't often come when you are constantly working and hustling, because you're focused on the task, the work that you're doing. And you might even be questioning if you should really be doing it, but that clarity doesn't come until you stop, until you rest, until you take a breath. So get that rest, take that breath, and seek that clarity. A quick reflection question you can ask yourself is, if I stopped proving and started aligning, proving in terms of, if I stopped attempting to prove myself through the intensity or through the hours that I work, through the hustle, if I stopped proving and started aligning, how would success look different? How would success look different? How different would success look to you? Because again, you probably define success differently than hustle, putting all this time, energy, and effort in. You probably want to get more of this thing called passive income. Well, hustling. I was singing the song, I didn't realize it, but it's not going to get us what we want if we're, again, misaligned. If you climb a ladder, but your ladder is on the wrong wall, it doesn't matter how high you climb, how many rungs up the ladder you go, because you're going to have to come back down from that ladder to then find the right wall, put the ladder on that wall, and then climb up that wall. So it doesn't matter how much you hustle if you are working on the wrong things. Alignment doesn't slow you down. It multiplies your results because everything you do starts moving in the same direction. Once you are aligned, that ladder is on the correct wall. No matter how much effort you put in now, you can put all the effort in you want now because you're aligned, and you will get up that ladder faster. Rest is important still, disclaimer. However, all the effort you're putting in ideally is getting you progress towards those visions, those goals that you have. So if you're ready to build a life and a business that moves in harmony and not exhaustion, I have a free Facebook group, a limited time entry. I want to invite you into it. Click that link in the description. It's the Freedom Hub community where you can connect with entrepreneurs who are mastering alignment, mindset, and purpose together. All right, so click that link in the description and go ahead and join that Facebook group. Again, it's a free Facebook group. I'd love to have you in there. Kadeem here, I appreciate you, and I know you got value from this, so share it out with somebody else who you know can also get value from it. I'll see you in the next one.